Welcome to WrestleRecap. I am Dylan Graives, joined by John Sutton, bringing you the Raw recap. If you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below and let us know how we're doing. But with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so Raw kicks off with showing us that CM Punk is here, as is Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, and the Judgment Day. But Gunther comes out to start the show, and they tell us that for the next 2 weeks, they will be on Sci-Fi Network. So, must just be something with the TV contract and whatnot.
Probably some disputes with all the crowd words, you know.
No, I'm guessing it's because the initial contract with USA was up, and they didn't work a deal out until after determining that they wouldn't be able to move to Netflix until the start of next year. But the crowd is booing Gunther out of the building. And Gunther says that he took some time to reflect on the things he said to Priest last week. And the crowd keeps booing him every step of the way. So finally, Gunther's had enough. And he says that, you know what, he meant every word he said last week, because Damian Priest and everyone in the building is a bum. He's also in the building.
Yes, he is a bum.
Yep, he's also in the building. So at least he's including everyone.
Way to be inclusive, that's a thing nowadays.
Yep. Gunther says that what's at stake is what's nearest and dearest to him, the reputation, prestige, and honor of this great sport and the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther says to think about why he was sent out first and not Damian Priest. And that's because Priest doesn't live up to it. Gunther says Priest's cute little sob story about growing up on the streets doesn't cover up the fact that he is a pretender and a wannabe. He says that where he comes from, they have a saying. And that saying is, show me your friends and I show you who you are. I think that's what it was. It was kind of hard to hear when he said it in English. Gunther says that for the last time... Nope, that's not where we're at. Gunther says he knows Damian Priest's friends, and today's the day that the Judgment Day will be judged by the Ring General, and the Ring General judges them collectively as street trash. Gunther says that for the last time, he's going to make Priest the offer to come out and lift the weight off of his shoulders and give Gunther his title. And then Priest can go back to his trailer park.
It's not his title. He's never even had it yet.
In Gunther's mind, it's his title.
Well, he doo-doo head.
Nah. Priest comes out and marches right to the ring and goes right after Gunther. They brawl in the ring with officials trying to break it up. Finally, the security that's here for the Wyatts, not the Bloodline.
Only the Wyatts.
They arrive to get them apart, but Priest still lands a kick and starts taking out the security. Priest exits the ring and goes after Gunther again, but they finally get separated before Priest runs right back at him, and we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the break, we get one of my favorite tropes that we were just talking about in the SmackDown recording.
Recap.
Yeah, the old, here's what happened right before the break for someone who wasn't here 4 minutes ago. We then see backstage, Gunther is pacing, and Damian Priest attacks him again. And once again, the officials and the security that's here for the Wyatts, not the Bloodline, get them separated. And then we head back to the ring because it's time for a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. That being held between the Mad Dragon Ilya Dragunov, and the dog Braun Breaker.
Woof, 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 woof.
Oh yeah, the dogs were barking. Ilya slaps Braun to start, so Braun takes him down and to the outside, down to the floor, with some ground and pound offense, asking if Ilya wants to slap him again. They re-enter the ring, and Ilya hits some elbow strikes and a running knee. Ilya hits some chops. God. Ilya hits some chops in the corner before Braun starts to fight back, but Ilya lands a big boot. They fight out onto the apron and trade suplex attempts on the apron over the turnbuckles before Braun finally gets Ilya up and just drops him rib first onto the top of the ring post, like the LED ring post thing.
Yeah.
As we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Braun has control. But Ilya fights back. However, Braun catches him and hits a gut buster for a near fall. Braun goes for a powerbomb, but Ilya counters it into a DDT, and they trade strikes with Ilya coming out on top. Braun starts to run the ropes, but Ilya catches him with a big boot and a Constantine special. Ilya hits a running knee in the corner, followed by a paintbrush boot. Ilya goes for a powerbomb, but he can't get Braun lifted up because of the ribs. Ilya lands a couple of strikes, and then manages to powerbomb Braun for a near fall. Ilya goes up top, but Braun meets him up there. However, Ilya knocks him down, but Braun is not deterred, and he gets up there and he hits the Frankensteiner for 2. Pat McAfee has now dubbed this, I believe, the Breakensteiner. So we'll have to see if they move or if they use that moving forward.
Why not the Breaker Steiner?
I don't know.
Just use his last name.
Okay. Braun goes up top, but Ilya kicks his legs out from under him. And Ilya hits a superplex and a H-bomb, but Braun rolls out to the apron. Ilya goes out to the apron as well and lifts Braun up and hits him with a Death Valley driver on the apron. Ilya goes for an H-bomb from the apron to the floor, but Braun spears him out of midair, and Ilya's head hits the apron, or his shoulder, perhaps. It's speculated he may have dislocated a shoulder here. But
I thought he was not clean out, like actually knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, they tell us that, or Michael Cole says that he hit his head, but recent reports since then have said that it might have just been a dislocated shoulder. Either way.
Just a dislocated shoulder, yeah.
Either way, this doesn't seem to have been planned, as the ref and Braun Breaker were not prepared for the outcome. The ref started counting and realized Ilya wasn't really moving at all, so she quickly alerted Braun before going to check on Ilya, and then she calls the match off and calls for medical staff. I also noted that obviously Braun had to sell this as if it was exactly what he meant to do, but before he exited the ring, you could see him looking out there and you could see the concern on his face, because nobody wants to be responsible for someone getting hurt. It's like Becky Lynch said in her book, they would rather be the injured than the injurer.
Yeah, I mean, or neither.
We then head backstage to the Judgment Day's clubhouse, and the boys are gaming, but Rhea tells them that that's enough games, because...
Before you keep going, I'm about to call it Mickey Mouse's Playhouse with how many games they play in that goddamn clubhouse.
Well, I mean, they're really only playing one game.
And every time they go back there, it's something funny, so it's got to be Mickey Playhouse, right? Mickeyhouse. Continue.
Okay, I was just making sure you're done. Rhea tells them that that's enough games, because they may have lost Priest for the night, and since he's dealing with his business, but they still have the tag team championships, and she's working on getting her title back at SummerSlam. And then Dom wants to talk to Rhea privately. However, it's not really privately. They're still very much right there with everyone around him. Dom says that he's concerned about the Jey Uso situation because he saw on social media that Rhea said yeet. Rhea says that it's really no different than what he's been doing with Liv because she's been seeing what he's been doing on socials as well. Finn tells Dom that he's got to take care of Jey Uso, but Rhea doesn't see the point in starting a war with Jey. And then after Rhea leaves, Finn tells Dom that he knows what he has to do. And I noted that basically throughout this entire segment, Carlito just took the side of whoever was talking at that time.
Yeah, switch to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. Except he wasn't just saying yeah, he was literally repeating what they were saying.
Yeah, he was literally repeating what they were saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You better fucking mute up.
You don't tell me what to do.
I'll hard mute you myself.
Guess you're gonna have to do it by yourself. But
oh, would you look at that? You're muted.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, because I unmuted you.
Bro, I'm unmuting myself. I can't even see you muting me.
Okay. Keep watching. No, unmute yourself. Can you see that? Oh, you can't respond because you're muted.
Nope.
Oh, you couldn't see that?
Nope, couldn't see shit.
I had you muted.
Oh.
Anyway. We see backstage where Drew McIntyre is with Adam Pearce and the two refs from last week. Drew shakes Adam's hand and says they're giving the fans what they want before he leaves. And then Lyra Valkyria, along with Caden Carter and Katana Chance, come out for Lyra's match with Sonya as we head into the commercial break. Following the commercial break, we get another one of the tropes that comes with Raw, where we set something up before the break and then spend half of the time going into before the next break not doing anything related to that. Because we head backstage once again to see Xavier Woods, Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine. It's apparently Akira's birthday. It is also Shawn Michaels' birthday, as they would later tell us. But they got a cake for Tozawa, and the cake must have been good because Otis and Akira both splooge over it. We then get a flashback to the start of the show, and we're told that Damian Priest and Gunther have both been sent home for the night. Don't worry, we will see what happened at the start of the show like 3 more times after this.
And also, they didn't go home.
I mean, they didn't show back up.
They're there. Somewhere.
We head back down to the ring for the match. And before the match gets underway, we get a flashback to last week. And they lock up to start with Sonya coming out on top. Lyra fights back and hits some shoulder tackles in the corner, followed by a low drop kick for 1 before Sonya rolls out of the ring. Lyra goes for a drop kick through the ropes, but Shayna pulls Sonya out of the way. So Lyra tries to put on the brakes, but she still went through the ropes to the floor and seemingly hurt herself in the process. We head into a commercial break with Sonya standing over Lyra, acting like she actually did something. Following the commercial break, when we come back, Sonya is up top, and Lyra joins her. Lyra hits a superplex on Sonya and seemingly hurts her ribs some more. Sonya goes for a running knee, but Lyra dodges it and hits a kick. Lyra hits a bridging T-bone suplex for a near fall. Sonya goes for DeVille's Advocate, but Lyra counters it. And Lyra lifts Sonya up for a gut wrench powerbomb, but Sonya just decided she wanted to hang out upside down. So Lyra was forced to hold her there while yelling at her to let go so that they could land the move. Well done, Sonya. Glad to have you back.
Yep.
Sonya managed to kick out at 2. What's up?
It's still not as bad as that time John Cena came back and you could hear everything they were calling out.
I mean, that's just typical Cena stuff. If you watch like any of his matches and pay attention, you can hear him calling stuff out.
Yeah, but not as obvious as that when he returned was. Like,
well, I mean, that was in the Performance Center, wasn't it? Or like during the Thunderdome era?
Nope.
No?
No, that was like 2 years ago, I want to say. It was him and... Oh, I can't remember who he was teaming with. Kevin Owens facing the Bloodline.
Hmm.
It was KO and him versus Sammy and Roman, because then Roman goes on to blame Sammy for the loss.
Ah.
But he's reaching for the ropes. He's like, not yet, stay down, stay down. And the ref's doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden he goes, okay.
Yeah.
And the ref's just the hype woman. She was like, okay, do it now.
Yeah, Cena is notorious for yelling out the spots throughout the match loud enough for people to hear.
I mean, in the crowd, sure, it's whatever. At home,
Yeah, I mean, the show is primarily made for it to be viewed on television. So.
And usually the crowd noises are high enough to
Typically.
Where you can't hear them calling out the spots. Because they all do it.
Oh, for sure. Lyra goes up top. So Shayna gets up on the apron to distract the ref, allowing Zoe to knock Lyra down. Carter and Chance go after Shayna and Zoe, but it don't work too well for them. And Sonya hits the Deville's Advocate to win. I commented that this was kind of ridiculous. I get that they're trying to build this group up, but Sonya should not be the leader of the group. Like,
she should also not be winning.
Nothing about
Especially
Sonya's career thus far tells us that she's a good person to align yourself with if you want to succeed.
She's kind of like Dakota Kai.
I mean, Dakota Kai's been a women's tag team champ.
But she'll turn your back on you. Turn her back on you, not your back.
Yeah, I mean, she turned on Tegan Nox and turned heel. But then, aside from that, the only other person she's turned on is Bayley. Which, with that turn, she was just never actually with Bayley. It was all just a ploy.
It was all a ploy. It was part of my ruse.
Yeah. Following this match, we get to see this week's Wyatt 6 tape, I guess. They don't actually show us a tape for once, though. This one is on Sister Abigail, Abby the Witch, Nikki Cross, whatever you want to refer to her as.
Probably the worst promo.
I mean, it was
something. I know that.
I mean, they're all going to be harder to do from here because obviously the Bo Dallas and the Eric Rowan ones carried the most weight. But I don't think it was horrible. Uncle Howdy tells her to look at herself. They lied to her, ignored her, watched her suffer in solitude. Uncle Howdy says that he's been the answer all along. He tells her to look at herself again. And then she just screams as we fade out. We then see that CM Punk is headed towards Gorilla as we head into the commercial break. Following the break, they actually follow through with what they led into the break with, and CM Punk comes out to the ring. Punk says that the bay is green, his shoes are pink, And he thinks they should stain them both with the blood of a Scottish psychopath because he saw his surgeon and he is cleared to compete. So CM Punk calls Drew out to the ring and starts taping up his wrists. Why the fuck does it feel like I'm getting stabbed in my shoulder blade? What the fuck? Like it honestly feels like I'm repeatedly getting stung in the same spot in my shoulder
Ghosts.
right now.
It's gotta be a ghost.
I mean, I absolutely have a ghost, but it's an old lady. It's Belva.
She loves to cook.
I mean, they used to like to play Xbox until I started leaving it unplugged.
Plug it in for her. What are you doing?
No, I do not like sitting here and having my Xbox turn itself on.
Mine does that, but that's because it has to update shit, so it just randomly turns on.
You have yours set to do that. I did not.
It is kind of scary in the middle of the night when I'm going back to bed. I'll just turn it off. Holy shit! Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. And I'll be walking to the room, and all of a sudden I hear pring. I'm like, what the was that? And then it's just updating. Okay.
Yeah, nah, this was like an every night kind of thing. It would turn itself on. And one night it actually woke me up. Like I heard it from the other room, and I must have just been at that point of the sleep stage where I was sleeping light enough that hearing that was enough to wake me up despite being in the next door room.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? So I got out of bed and I come in to the game room and I just see the Xbox sitting there on. It's like, oh, hell no.
It is too late at the night, lady, to be playing some goddamn games.
It is too late for this. Y'all need to go to sleep.
I get that you guys only come on at night, but come on. Do it at 3 in the afternoon. I might, play a game or two.
But
help me help you.
Drew comes out to the stage, and he says that he can't tell him how long he's waited for this, and there's nothing that's going to stop him from getting in that ring and tearing Punk apart. Except that he don't want to. Punk says that he does, and takes off after Drew, but officials run out from the back to stop Punk. Drew says that Punk versus Drew is bigger than Green Bay. It's a big money match. Obviously, the crowd doesn't like this. Drew says that Punk's got to learn to chill and control his emotions. Just look at him. He's chilled and relaxed. And when he gets emotional, he tends to turn to family, and it calms him down. And Drew holds up the bracelet that he stole from CM Punk. Just then, Adam Pearce comes out saying that that's enough. And Pearce says that what Drew isn't telling Punk is that there's a reason they're not fighting tonight. That reason is that the match is official for... That reason is that the match is official for SummerSlam. And if either one of them lay a finger on the other, the match is off. And whoever throws the first punch will be suspended indefinitely. Pearce says the chaos has to stop. And he's got a big problem. A referee problem. Seth Rollins comes out. And I commented, what is Seth wearing? It's like a jacket from the front, but on the back side, it cuts off halfway down his back.
All I know is it couldn't have been comfortable.
I mean, instead of a mullet where it's... I guess it would be like a mullet. Business in the front, party in the back.
I suppose.
Seth says that they have a problem. Drew hates Punk Punk hates Drew, and all the chaos they've caused over the last year has scared away anyone from getting in between them. Seth says he knows a guy who thrives on chaos and would love nothing more than to put them two in their places.
Chad Gable.
No. Seth goes on to reveal that he will be the special guest referee for their match at SummerSlam. We then see backstage, the Judgment Day is looking for something. They all split up, and Liv is waiting for Dom. Dom keeps trying to push her away, but Liv doesn't take the hint. Finn comes up, and Liv says that that's her cue, and she leaves. Finn says he left him for 10 seconds. What is going on, man?
New world record.
Dom reveals that they're looking for Jay and says he thinks he saw him go that way. And that happens to be the way that Liv went. So Finn tells him that he's not going that way and sends him off the opposite way. Xavier Woods, Otis, and Akira Tozawa, accompanied by Maxine Dupree, come out for their match to the New Day's music.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
We head into the commercial break. And following this, we are backstage with Sami Zayn, who is being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. She asks if Sami is concerned about Braun being the number one contender. Sami says he doesn't know that concerned is the right word, but we saw what happened. Sami says Braun earned the match, and he's taking him very seriously. And Sami warns Braun to not make the same mistake he made at Money in the Bank, and that Braun better take Sami seriously. They're interrupted by a commotion. JD and Carlito are attacking Jey Uso, but Sami comes to Jay's aid, and JD and Carlito take off. We then see that Otis and Braun Strowman visited the Packers training camp. Otis, being a Wisconsin boy.
I saw a picture of him on a Harley, and it doesn't look real.
Why is that?
It just does. I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
Getting into the match that you've been waiting for, we get a flashback to Kofi Kingston getting hurt.
Oh, good. I can take a nap.
Woods and Cross start the match. Sounds like you lost something, homie.
Just interest in this match.
Cross tags out right away, so Woods and Rezar will start. Woods tries to get something going, but Rezar overpowers him and tags Akam in. Woods starts fighting back against Akam, but Akira pulls the ropes down and causes Akam to spill out of the ring. Tozawa drop kicks Akam off the apron and hits a S-dive as we head into the commercial break. When we come back from the break, Akam has control, and Akira starts to fight back, but Akam levels him and pins him for 2. Cross catches Akira midair and just throws him across, or throws him. He spins in the air and lands. The crowd chants for Otis, and Cross knocks Woods off the apron, but Otis still gets the hot tag. And the kind of hometown boy takes the fight to all 3 of the Final Testament. Otis fires up and hits the Caterpillar before Cross hits him with a forearm. Woods hits a missile drop kick to Cross, and Akira takes out either Akam or Rezar, I'm not sure which one. Woods takes the fight to Cross, but Cross ends up catching him, and he hits him with the final prayer to pick up the win. Just another boring match. You didn't miss anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just woke up. What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. Chad Gable comes out in the post-match along with the Creeds. But we got to have a commercial break first. Following the commercial break, Gable says that there's something in him that makes him keep helping his former pupils. Gable says it's an interesting choice that Otis has taken a leadership role, and the first thing he decided